Welcome to Charmed Life, a radio show discussing spirituality, magic, and the unconditional love of the universe. Thanks for tuning in. And I am your host, Trisha Carr. Thank you so much for being here with me today. This is a very different show than all of the ones that I've done before because I'm actually doing this remotely. So if you're watching this live or watching it in one of the archives, like on YouTube, then you may notice that the setting is a little bit different. I have nature all around me. I'm in Prescott, Arizona. I'm here visiting my in-laws and also going to be going to Sedona in a little while, which is one of the power spots. It's one of the Earth's chakras, one of Gaia's chakra points, one of the energetic centers of Gaia. And I'm very excited about that because I've never been to Sedona or any of the chakras or high power vortices of the Earth. And then, of course, if you're listening, then the sound sounds a little bit different, but I hope that you enjoy it anyway. And I am taking calls. Otherwise, it is a typical show. Pardon me if you're watching right now. I'm trying to bring up my notes because I'm all on my own today. Except, Jarvis is still here in the studio with me, and he is looking out for me in remotely. So a holler to Jarvis. He's still producing and making this look really cool on that side. Anyway, so I'm really excited to be here with you guys, even though I am not in Hollywood, California. I'm still broadcasting live from Universal Broadcasting Network Studios in Hollywood, California. And it's really cool. I love technology. We sometimes get down on technology and we say, oh, it's making life less personal. But, I think it's all about how you approach it. As a matter of fact, something that my guides told me, and that I frequently pass on to my clients, is that it really matters so much less what decision you make than who you are when you make the decision. So you can choose to engage in technology and different kinds of social networking. And it's all about who you are when you go into it. Quite frankly, sometimes when I'm on Facebook, I'll see that I'm only engaging in things that are negative. And I'm like, okay, that's me. That's my vibration. I'm only attracting the things that are not uplifting. So I just close it and I say, I'm going to put you away for now. And then I'm going to get out. Maybe I need to go meditate, or maybe I just needed to go to sleep because it's all about your own frequency. It's all about your own, how connected you are to the oracle, which is your heart, and you being able to connect with love. Pardon me while I take a sip. So like I said, we are taking calls. 323-524-2522. Wait, did I say it right? 2599? Jarvis, did I say that right? 323-524-2599.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you. Oh, look, we got to hear Jarvis too. He normally sits in the background. Now I'm forcing him to talk to me. All right, so great. So do call in with any, if you want a mini reading or if you have any questions. Today, I want to talk, well, before I get into my topic, which is very exciting to me, the topic is stages to its ascension, and also how unicorns, yes, I'm serious, unicorns actually are involved in our ascension process. But I want to tell you guys, I mentioned this last week, I am just opening up spots for 3 different mentoring programs. 3. So one of them is for highly sensitive people and empaths, how you can turn those abilities actually into abilities, those sensitivities that feel like you are absorbing and you feel, kind of like victimized by your sensitivities, by the fact that there's too much going on and you just seem to be a sponge, and it brings you down when deep inside you are really just wanting to help and wanting to connect with love. So all of that stuff, that goes to your physical nature as well as your emotional nature. And so I'm doing a mentoring for that. All of my mentoring programs are intense. They are 8-week programs where we actually meet live. And then there's also a lot of self-administering modules and different training, homework, all that kind of work. Because really we have to take you off of being coached and mentored by me and coached and mentored by yourself. And so that's the idea, but it's intense. It's basically like learning a new language. The best way to learn a new language is by total immersion. So that's how I structure these programs. So one is the empath and HSP. The other one is for just developing your spiritual abilities. So whether you have discovered them and you kind of understand them in a specific way, or you don't know how to connect with them with regularity, wherever you are on that spectrum, this program is for you. And it's really the goal is to take those feelings and make them something that's a reliable skill. Ooh, cicadas. Do you hear the cicadas? They want to pipe up. Just going to give them the stage for a minute. So beautiful. I love being here. I grew up in Texas, so we had cicadas and katydids always making all kinds of music all around. And now I'm in California, and there's different kind of music. It's like traffic. Anyway, so that the next program, like I said, developing your abilities. The goal is to take those feelings and make them some kind of reliable skill that you can utilize, like a tool. And by the way, once you hone it in this one time, you're always going to be discovering colors and new abilities even. And so you're going to be able to continue to utilize those skills as you go through life, and your abilities open up more and more. So it's kind of like teaching you how to develop it on your own, besides actually developing a specific skill. Isn't that interesting? I love it. All right. And then the third one that I want to mention is for spiritual entrepreneurs, to double your business, double your productivity, double the amount of people, and double the output of your work and your connection. Because I think that with being a naturally spiritually advanced person and making that your career, sometimes we get limited because we need to use the skills that are out there in the world, because basically the network of the world, but we need to be able to use it like ourselves. And so there's a disconnect sometimes, understanding how to move from one plateau up to like always moving up, like just a trajectory that never ends, that never plateaus, unless you want it to. Sometimes plateaus are a nice place to relax. But basically for it to be the pace that you want at all times. So those are the three programs. And if you're interested in any of the three, you could do a couple of things. First, you could join my Facebook group. So you can find that by just looking for Charmed Life Successful Spiritual Entrepreneurs. And you can come into that group even if it's not about a spiritual business just yet, if it's just about connecting in all of these ways that I'm discussing, because I also just broadcast this show in there. So it's a good way to stay on top of that. And so you can find it that way. And it's actually facebook.com/charmedlifelove. All right. All right. I think that's the business for today. And again, we're taking calls. I'm just seeing, I have calls. Okay. So I guess I'll take a call before I actually start the topic. How does that sound? I want to get to you guys.
Hello?
Hi. Oh, hi there. Sorry, it sounds different since I'm not in the studio. Yes. Hi, you're on the air. Who's this?
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm very good. My name is Darius, and I'm calling from
Darius.
West Palm Beach,
I thought
Florida.
I actually recognized your voice. I know you. You called it a few times. What's going on today?
I guess my question is, I'm so happy you did this before the topic, because this is like off topic, I guess, but it's more of a general guidance kind of question.
Okay. That's it? You just want general guidance?
Yeah, literally.
Well, give me a little more than that. Let's hone it in, because we are a whole map of. I mean, if you want me to feel in and see what the most sensitive area is, or you could tell me either way. What do you want to do? You want to talk about your work, I think maybe?
Yes, I am in the earlier stages of starting an intuitive business, and I am definitely making progress, and I'm not lamenting over the progress that has been made, but I want to know what I can do to hone this in further, and what I can do to make this my full source of income.
Okay, so the first piece of advice that I'm getting to give you, Darius, is done is better than perfect.
Yes, yeah. I agree.
So launching, if you have enough pieces to launch, and I know you have to a degree, I can feel that you have, but go ahead and launching more full spectrum. There's more that you can launch right now that you haven't yet. So going ahead and pulling the trigger and moving forward, that perfection is a work in progress. So go ahead and pull the trigger on some things. I think it would be good for you to do some more social media. I know you're doing some. But go ahead and start to take it one day at a time. Like one day you're focusing on the social media as the marketing piece, and setting your intention with it too. So it all starts with the intention and the mindset, which of course I know you know because you are a healer and you're a light worker. So really doubling down on setting your intentions. And here's the magic. So we set intentions with the full, when we set them, we have the full expectation that they are going to manifest. And we also release the insistence on what the manifestation is going to look like. So even writing down those 3 steps for yourself and doing that in the morning, and then taking one piece and executing that day. Beyond that, that's the main thing. 80% of it is the mindset. And that's my mentoring program is actually 80% of it is the mindset. There's a 20% that we absolutely need, but there's 80% of it is the mindset. So starting to visualize and affirm. So the affirmation also comes in the execution. When you actually start to execute, when you actually launch and you move forward with your action steps that day to the best of your ability at the time, that is an affirmative kind of thing that we're doing too. So we have the affirmations that we actually say to program our mind and create our mindset. And then the 20%, the second part of the affirmation is doing. And I know you feel like you're doing that. So I think it's more about doubling down on the intention in the morning, even if you're spending 3 hours of being in the space where some of it is meditation, some of it is affirmation and prayer, and then some of it is studying, like being in reading and listening to other teachers who are successful and teaching on those topics of spiritual business success. Start getting obsessed with being successful in your spiritual business, that element of it, because you got the gifts and the gifts are there and you know how to let those flow, because all the gifts do, all you do with the gifts is you get out of the way and you let them flow. So that's easy. Right?
I agree. Yes.
Yeah. Is that, tell me, is that giving you some specifics to move forward with, or do you have some more?
It does. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. That is a really good answer.
Okay. All right, cool.
So I definitely want to do more social media stuff, but I'm kind of not as specific as I guess I should be as to what I should be doing exactly.
Okay. So do you have a business page?
I do, on Facebook and Instagram. I recently started a YouTube page as well, and a website, of course.
Okay, great. So then the other thing that is really useful are groups, because they're a deeper engagement, and you can actually engage in other groups and just be there and be active. You want to follow their rules. So if there are groups that don't allow promotion, then that's fine. You could just be in there and be active and connect with people genuinely. And then there are some groups that don't allow promotion most of the time, but they may allow promotion during certain other, like there's one that I am a part of that's really great. And it's like, you can promote on Mondays and Fridays if you use this hashtag. So, you know what I mean? But most of the time they don't allow it. So then it's not one of those groups that's just inundated with people just hawking their business. And not that there's anything wrong with that. There are some that completely allow promotion, and go ahead and post there and engage there as well, because I think that there's benefit there. So it all goes to whether the traffic is cold or warm. So the really, really warm kind of traffic is when you go into the other groups and they don't allow any promotion, but you're building relationships. So it's really kind of like going out to the singles bar and actually talking to someone and making a real connection with them so that you can either date them or bring them into your friend circle. So that's the kind of real warm audience. And then there's the cold audience where they allow all kinds of promotion. You go ahead and do that. And you just starting to do that, you'll start to get the feel for how you can market in Facebook in particular. Does that help? So it's a lot of stuff. I mean, this is stuff that I cover in my mentoring program really intensely, and like really hold your hand and walk you through how to do that. But you can start training yourself too. And again, you just want to mind the rules of whatever the group is. And then at some point you can start your own group, obviously. And then that's your own warm audience that you're cultivating.
Awesome. Okay. Cool. Thanks. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I hope that was helpful. Yeah. But just setting your intention to figure out that piece. Instagram is a whole different thing. That's all about posting, really engaging pictures and stuff. I think Instagram is kind of easy that way, but you have to have a genuine engagement with your audience there as well. I don't think there's really a way to engage, to collaborate as much or be with other users in Instagram, but I use Instagram just as a secondary kind of outlet. Yeah. All right.
I actually love Instagram, but yeah, no. Okay. Interesting. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it. Do the ones that you love. You love Instagram, then really get in there and put your heart into Instagram. And that's really a big key.
We'll do.
All right, Darius. So nice to talk to you again. Let me know how it goes.
Nice to talk to you too. I will do. Thank you. Have a great day.
You're welcome. Good luck. Okay, well, I guess let's take another call, Jarvis. And then after that, I'll start talking about what I want to talk about, because it actually has a lot to do with how we approach our business as well as the rest of our life. Hi there, someone there. I can't hear if there's anyone there yet.
Hey, Trisha. How are you? Can you hear me?
I can, yes. Hi, who is this?
It's Mike. How you doing?
Oh, Mike. Hey, good. How are you? What's going on?
Good. What did you get kicked out of the studio? You're outside today. I wasn't expecting that. What happened here?
I'm traveling right now, so I'm doing the show remotely.
Oh, I like it. I like the background. You look good. You look good in this natural light. Where's Jarvis?
Thank you. He's here. Jarvis is here. He's in the studio.
Oh, I said hi. Listen, I'm glad I got through to you. Things have been happening at a rapid pace here, and I was wondering if I can get a reading over the line. Things are going well. Last time I talked to you, I was a little bit down in the dumps or whatever, but everything's been going really well so far lately, and I was wondering if I just took a new job, and I wanted to see what you could see or sense about that, if this is the right decision or if I've made a tragic mistake.
It feels like right now, it's a really good step. And it is, again, about how you approach it. It feels like so there's two things. You've got a lot of skills that you're going to enhance, a lot of things you're going to, a lot of benefit. There's a lot of good stuff there that's just readily available. There is a piece of it that is a challenge. But if you approach that challenge as like, I welcome challenges because they make me better, because they make me stronger, because they help me to use my cognitive abilities and my emotional affects, like basically how we conduct ourselves emotionally and how we, and always just looking for the positivity, it's going to offer you both of that. It feels like you're going to feel a lot more. It's like there's more than 50% of just the benefit, but there's a good chunk of it that's challenge. And if you continue to approach that challenge, like, oh, thank you, bring it on. Yes, this is just me climbing a hill so that I can become stronger. It's going to give you that. It does feel like it's a step. It feels like you could be there for a significant amount of time, like maybe a few years even. So, stick with it. It feels like it's going to be stable for you. And that's a nice thing. Stability is always nice. And that's something to be really grateful for. And just take that positive attitude in with it. But it feels like you can let it be, if you give it all of your authentic self, and continue to strive for the next level of your authenticity, then it's going to be a really nice tool for you. And it'll be a nice stepping stone. And be patient with it. Be patient.
Well, that's good news. I thought maybe it was a bad idea. I mean, it's the same company and all. It's just like a new position, you know what I mean? So I was a little worried about it because now they gave me a lot more responsibility. I can't goof around as much as I used to, you know what I mean?
Well, there you go. There's some challenge that's going to make you stronger then. Yeah, I think that's good stuff. I think it's all going to be good. Just keep.
So what are you on vacation or something now? What are you on vacation?
A little bit. I'm visiting my in-laws in Prescott, Arizona.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's
so it's
nice.
kind of
vacation. I didn't know if you were
but
married or not. Lucky guy. I'll tell you, lucky guy. Does mom and pop in-law, do they like you?
Oh, yeah, they love it. My husband and I, we've been married for 4 years, but we've been together 13. So, yeah, my in-laws are great. Beautiful, beautiful
love,
people.
Right? Speaking of people who are married, how about that Hillary? Is she still married, or do I have a chance yet to move in on Hillary, or is she
hold
still
on now, Mike.
spoken
Hold
for?
on. I'm going to call you on this now, because the last time you were on, you said that you got in trouble with your wife for flirting with Hillary. So I'm going to call you on that right now. What's going on?
I told my wife, listen, it's all fun and games, and my wife said, if you want to go for Hillary, then go for it. I don't care anymore.
So you guys are splitting up, or?
No, we're not splitting up. We're just playing the field, I guess. I've always suspected perhaps she liked other people more than me anyway. So she's probably looking at this as a good thing.
All right. Well, let me tell you, first of all, you got rebuffed by Hillary, so you're not going after Hillary. And second of all,
okay,
just because last time
they say sometimes it's best to go through the friend, you know.
Okay. Well, I'm just telling you, she said no. And I'm going to also tell you that the last time you were on the show, you said you got in trouble for that. So I'm not going to let you do that on my show, because I don't want you to get in trouble if I know you got in trouble for something on my show.
I'm not going to get in trouble. It's all cool with the wife. It's not your fault. You can't take responsibility for me being dumb. Yeah, it's all my fault. You have no reason. You don't need to apologize to anybody. But let me ask you one more question. Did Hillary said she didn't want to be with me because she's married, or because she thinks I'm like not good looking?
I heard her say she's married on our show. So let's listen to her.
Okay.
Let's take her on her word.
Just tell her I said hi, and if things don't work out, I'm available.
Okay. All right, Mike. Well, good luck with the job. Thanks for checking in with us.
All right, you look great, by the way. Enjoy your vacation and have fun. Don't wear sunscreen. It gets very hot there in Arizona.
I know. Yeah, I know. Well, much love to you.
All right,
thank
you so much. It's great seeing you and talking to you. You're always so much fun.
No, thank you. You too. Thanks for calling in. Bye now. All right, Jarvis, I'm actually going to chat a little bit, but hang on the line. Whoever is still, we're going to talk about some stuff that Spirit wants to bring forward, and it always shapes the conversation that we have with the callers. So, it's 11:22. That's a powerful number too. Okay. So hang on, callers. We're going to get to you, and I want to talk to you guys today. I actually held a class in the Lightworkers Lab this past week. So to give you context about what that is, I talk about the Lightworkers Lab a lot. It is a spiritual community that is hosted on Facebook right now. And so if you are a spiritual seeker, you can go and you can request to join our group. It's founded by Crystal Ann Compton, who is an incredible, powerful teacher of spirit, and dear friend of mine. I love her so much. And we have some other amazing moderators and teachers in the group. I'm a moderator and teacher in the group. And we have, like, for example, Dr. Justine Uselding, who is a shamanic practitioner and clinical psychologist. And she is up there giving live teaching. It's amazing. You know, she's just a free resource there. But it's a really beautiful community that is a great place to just go and feel wonderful. We moderate it to make sure that there is only love, there's only light, there's only seeking connection with others in the space of profound love. So that's the idea there. And if you're a spiritual seeker who is actually looking to develop your intuitive abilities, it's a great place for that too. That's my Lightworker Lab talk. Taking a sip of water, pardon me. Anyway, I did this class in the Lightworkers Lab, and it was on, the class was on ultra elementals and ascended animals. Ooh, doesn't that sound spooky and cool? Let me tell you what that is. So, you know, elementals are beings of light in a dimension and a density that is very close to us here. So basically it is nature spirits, like the angels of nature. And so that actually is what, when people talk about fairies and the lore of fairies and different beings like that, it's not just lore. Those are true experiences. Some of it is legend. Some of it is where we put a little negativity on it. But the pureness of it, the true love-centered part of it, there's truth there. And just like we have angels that are in the higher dimensions, higher densities, we also have elemental beings. So ultra elementals are even higher than, say, the fairy realm. And the ones that I was teaching about in the Lightworkers Lab are dragons. Those are real. They're not the evil ones. They are pure joy. Also unicorns, who are actually ascended horses. So by ascended, I mean like the Buddha and Jesus, the Christ, and other people who walked on the earth. They actually ascended, and they are no longer incarnating because they ascended through the process of all of the learning, and now they stay in the non-physical to support and guide and uplift us. And so there are actually animals that have that process as well. So unicorns are actually ascended horses. And the class actually covered a few other kinds of ultra elementals and ascended animals, but those were the two primary ones. And today, I just thought I would mention unicorns because these beings are actually, they work with us just like spirit guides. They basically, spirit guides is a role that any kind of spiritual light being can take a part in, working with us. But they actually help us in our ascension process. And I wanted to go through what this ascension process, what it looks like when we're considering how unicorns are actually helping with this. I got this from Diana Cooper, who is an author and a teacher as well. And she does a lot of work on, teaching about unicorns and dragons and all of these different kinds of ultra elementals. And so unicorns actually work with us when we reach a certain stage of ascension. They interact with us, and they remove basically a veil of our awareness. So we have all of these, we are spirits having an incarnated experience, and we have all of these veils or filters that we have put in place so that we could focus on the lesson that we're learning. And then when we kind of learn that lesson, then we kind of strip away a veil or strip away one of these filters so that we can learn another lesson that is greater. Does that make sense? So this outline of these 7 stages of ascension are really beautiful. Checking my time right here. Okay, cool. I'm going to spend a few minutes on this, and then I'll take a couple more calls. All right. So I'm just going to discuss these 7 different stages, which are represented by these different veils on our awareness, or filters, if that makes more sense to you. And so basically, as we reach this stage of awareness, this lesson that we learn, your unicorn guide will remove a veil and bring you to the next level. So the 7 veils, or 7 different stages I'm going to discuss, we're going to start with the 7th. That means the 7th furthest away from you. The 7th on the 7th filter on the outside. It's like we're stripping away that filter, then we strip away this filter, and then we're kind of getting closer to where our awareness is opening up to really spectacularly great, like pure consciousness kind of ways. All right. So the 7th veil is actually represented by the color red, and what that color means as a light in the light spectrum. I'm going to move through these a little bit quickly, but because just the description of them is pretty powerful, I think. So all of that stuff that I just said so far, if it seems confusing, unicorns, what are you talking about? Let go of it and just let the pureness that is going to touch your heart, let that sink in, because that's really the important part. The 7th veil. So when you reach this level of understanding, the 7th veil will be removed for you. And this understanding is having the full responsibility of your life, that it is your creation. And that means no more blame and no more victimhood. And so we have when we're looking at these different stages, you may feel that you kind of like have some of this one and have some of the next one. But really, in order to move on to the next one, we're talking about your awareness is so completely pure in this way that you never blame anyone for what is going on in your life, and you never feel like a victim again. Even if something happened to you where you were, say, like I was hit by a car last year. I'm not patting myself on the back, but it was a really cool experience because I recognized immediately while I was lying in the street, because she ran over my foot, the car ran over my foot. The woman didn't run over my foot. I was screaming, how cool this is. I was actually literally screaming that because I knew I created it because of what I was just thinking about. And I knew that I had created it for a particular reason. It was weird. Didn't mean that I didn't feel the pain. It didn't mean that I didn't need her to go ahead and pay for the fact that I was out of work, pay for my doctor's bills. It doesn't mean that there isn't something still that needs to be balanced in what happened. but I knew that I created it, and it was actually really cool. It made the experience, even though there was physical pain and all that kind of stuff, it made the experience feel very empowered, even though I was literally disempowered by being brought down physically. So that's just an example of how when you accept and completely live responsibility for your own life as your own creation, no more blame, no more victimhood, then your unicorn guide will actually step in and remove that seventh veil from you. So the sixth veil is represented by the color yellow. Sorry, there's a car going by. Represented by the color yellow, and it is when you accept and believe and completely trust in the spirit world and that it is working with you. So there are a lot of people who believe in it, great, but they don't trust it completely. They don't believe that it's working with you. Not just the spirit world, it's the entire universe, really, represented by the spirit realm, and whether it's your angels, your guides, and all that kind of stuff. But really, the entire universe is conspiring for your success, conspiring to support you. Understanding that so profoundly that, again, you would have need to have taken responsibility for your life so that you don't blame anymore, because now you understand that the spirit world and that all of the universe is actually working with you and for you and supporting you, conspiring for your success, conspiring for your wellness, conspiring for you to express the fullness of your being, the ecstatic joy inside your heart. That is actually the resonance with your higher self, which is the essence, that is the reflection of God. Your higher self is God. It is the direct connection. It is the direct expression of God, of the universe, or source energy, whatever you're most comfortable calling the primal energetic source. Your higher self is showing you that you are on the right path when you feel and you pursue something that is exciting, that is complete joy. That is the texture of the resonance with your higher self. So accepting, believing, and trusting entirely in the spirit world, and that it is working with you and for you. That is when the sixth veil will be removed. The next stage is the fifth one, meaning the fifth furthest away from you, again, is represented by the color pink. This is when you have the full awareness, full embodiment, the full beingness of loving everyone unconditionally. And this is not emotional love. This is a pure acceptance. It's a pure soul love. And it means that you're able to bless them, to pray for them, to wish them only good, to wish them success and wellness. And so just to give you a little bit of context here, this means that you also have to love unconditionally Donald Trump. It always kind of puts it in context, even if you're listening globally and you're not in the United States. I mean, and if you love Trump already for emotionally, you know what I mean? Like, then pick the other person that is the politician that troubles you. Okay, you need to love them unconditionally as well. Bless them. Wish them only good. Wish them only their expression of perfect joy as well. Because anyway, that is how we actually end war, is by loving peace. So if you feel resistance to a politician and how they act in the world, then that resistance is actually, all it is promoting resistance. All it is promoting ill will. All it is promoting fight. So when you get to the place where you are able to love everyone unconditionally, and again, this is not emotional love. This isn't the love that you have for your partner or your children or your animals or your best friend. It's different. It is something that is non-emotional. It is purer because it is a higher consciousness. It's true soul love. It's the namaste. Namaste actually means the light in me honors the light in you. It's being able to see someone else's light and just believe in that. That's what that one is. That's what that veil is about. When you are able to achieve that in your being, then that fifth veil will be removed for you by your unicorn. I'm trying to move through these quickly so I could take a few more calls. Fourth veil is represented by the color blue, like a medium blue color. This fourth veil is when you honor and work with animals in nature and the elemental realm. Like I said, I was talking about the elemental realm, the fairies, the gnomes, and of course, these ultra elementals that we're talking about, the non-physical expression, the spiritual love's expression of nature. Animals and nature. So love and honor them. So the honoring part is really key. people who are very sensitive, love animals, yes, that's easy. The hard part, or I would say the advanced part, is actually honoring them, because what honoring them means is basically goes back to that 7th level, the very first one. When you take full responsibility for your own life as your own creation, this goes in. If you're able to do that, in order to honor animals and nature, you need to also allow them to recognize that they have full responsibility for their lives as their own creation. So this means not seeing them as victims, not blaming others for what's happening to them. I know there are things that are happening. I love animals. I love nature. I love the environment. We don't have things totally right, and people are unconscious. But see, if you love everyone unconditionally, then you're not going to blame them and be angry at them for what they're doing to animals and nature. You're going to see their light and love them through it. You're going to want to help them to become conscious so that they're no longer doing these things that are out of balance. Does that make sense? So there's the honoring part. And then there's also, you see, you have to get through these different levels in order for the next one to make sense. So, and then also understanding the elemental realm. And it doesn't mean that you have to believe in or understand what fairies are or anything, but just knowing that there is spirit in nature, that there is the expression of the universe, the non-physical, the source energy in nature, and that it is actually working with you and for you and to everyone's benefit, and trusting and honoring it the way that we trusted and honored the spirit realm in the previous veil. All right. So what that goes to is like allowing animals and nature to be there on their ascension path as well, just like you are. So then when you have reached that level of awareness, then that 4th veil will be removed from you, the 4th away from you, and you will be at this next level, which is the 3rd veil, or the 3rd furthest away stage from you. Is represented by the color of deep blue, a richer blue. So this is when you are able to walk with the angels and the masters in your daily life. So, or if you just, it may just be walking with God, if that's how your understanding, that's how your spiritual life expresses it. If you, or if masters, meaning like if you are a Christian, then walking with Jesus the Christ as your ascended master, walking with that ascended feeling and that connection and that tutelage with you every single day, that receiving, not just being passive, but also understanding that you are an empowered part of that relationship. That when you work with the higher non-physical realms, or with God, or with source energy, your higher self, all of that, you're being with them every day. You aren't separating. And basically what I say, like going rogue, and you're taking this on yourself, and you're feeling that, see how you need to have had a responsibility for your life, and you need to have trusted in the spirit realm in order to get down here. You're being that essence of having that relationship, that support, and that high inspiration, that crown chakra, even soul star chakra living. That's really what we're living. And the sage and the seer and the wise and the full connection of, like I say, the giving and the receiving. That is when that 3rd veil will be removed from your awareness. The 2nd veil, how much time do I have? Oh, cool. I'll be able to take at least one more call. But hey, you don't know who you are on the line. Also, by the way, I forget to mention that if I don't get to your call, know that spirit knows who you are. Source energy is organizing all of this for all of us, for the messages. And also know that if you're listening to the archive, that there is no such thing as time and space in the highest truth, that all of the messages and all of the healing is being organized for all of us in all time and space whenever you're connecting with this broadcast. All right, so the 2nd veil, the 2nd furthest away from you, it's actually the last one that you experience when you're still in the physical body, in this incarnated experience as a human, or as an animal, or a rock. The 2nd veil is represented by the color violet, and it is when you reach universal consciousness and understand and live that everything is connected. So it's unity. It's the fullness of unity consciousness, and you are existing as that. It is when you are, I am that I am. I use this as an affirmation. I've talked about it on the show before. I am is full acceptance of who you are. The second I am is eternal, is above time and space. So the full acceptance of who you are, the full expression of who you are, is the all. because the really and highest truth is only singularity. At the same time, we have the duality, which we get to express and be, and we get to be that expression of source energy. But understanding and being that the greater part of you is unity. The real truth is unity. Everything is connection. There is no separation. That is when that last, well, penultimate veil will be removed. And then finally, the first veil, it's actually transparent. That's the color that is representative of it. And this is when you actually leave your physical body. It is it's outside of the physical body, and it's you existing in the seventh and higher dimension entirely. So it's being on the other side, as we say. Okay, well, I think that's enough of the lesson, and I'm going to see if we can have some time to take a few more callers. Okay, great. So let's take another call then, Jarvis, please. Hello, let me know when you're there. There you are. Hi.
Hi, Trisha. It's Laura Lee.
I love it. You get through every time to Laura Lee. It's I don't know if it's because you call at the top of the show or what, but we actually have several people on hold. So you are a really powerful caller and manifester of calling in on the show, and I love it.
I'm glad that I got here. I love talking to you.
Me too. And you always bring such joy and such wisdom. So I appreciate you calling in.
Oh, thank you. Because I call Sunday my soul Sunday. That's my day for me. I Wednesday nights with you too. I have a date with you for Wednesday night. I learned so much from you. Thank you, Trisha.
Oh, that's so sweet. So let me just tell the audience, she's talking about that's when I teach live in the Lightworkers Lab on Wednesday evening. So I'm going to put it on my calendar. Wednesday is my date with Laura Lee.
And the rest of us, and I hope everybody that's listening joins us. You're such a great teacher.
Oh,
I learned so much. I actually even learned more today. You going through quickly. I picked up a few more notes. The reason why I called, actually, I do have a phone call I booked with you when you were talking about your business this week anyway, so I won't talk to you about that. But
that's right. I remember seeing that on my calendar. Thank you. I look forward to it.
Good. Me too. I have two quick questions. One of them is just about you're talking about unicorns. Mm-hmm. Now, I got a name that night, but I'm not sure who it belongs to because I feel a strong connection to unicorns, dolphins, as well as dragons. Mm-hmm. And I'm not quite sure. I don't know if you want me to tell you the name or not. I can tell you. It wouldn't be a name I would pick, and it's a common name, but... Yes, two names.
Who were you asking for? Do you know who you were asking for? Sorry, the delay. I'm sorry about the delay. Let me be patient. Do you know who you were asking for? Whose name you were asking for?
It was right. I think it may belong to a dragon, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
It was either a unicorn or a dragon. And it's not a name I would pick, and it's a long name. It's Christopher Richard. And I thought, that's a long name.
No, I think it's great. So, I mean, the names of my dragons, I like one of them, I talked about it in the class that night. One of them, I don't remember ever hearing this word, but it's actually the name of a flower. So, I'm not going to say that I definitely had never heard of that flower before, but certainly not one that I was conscious of. Mm-hmm. I think because you said dragon first, I think it's probably your dragon.
Yeah.
I actually don't like to, I can feel into you and try to give you that word. It actually works out better. I think that if you discover it yourself, it means more. And then sometimes when I'm doing a reading, they'll come in and they say, tell her this, that's different. You know what I mean? Because then you've already had that experience and then it's just added validation. So I want to let you have that validation that it is your dragon because that is who you said first. Okay. I think that because you said, or unicorn, your unicorn is right behind. Your unicorn wants to talk to you too.
Sorry?
I say since the second you said dragon or unicorn, I think it's your dragon. And I think your unicorn is right there in the on deck to talk to you as well, to connect with you.
Oh, good. I'm waiting to hear that name. I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah.
And I won't keep it because I know you have you have other callers. You know what? I'll save this second question when I talk to you. I know we don't have a long time, but just if you have other callers, I want other people to have a chance too. So.
I think we could probably get to it real fast. Oh, my connection just got a little wonky.
Are you still there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah. Actually,
Okay,
it was an animal question about one of my dogs.
Okay, go ahead. Let's see if we can get it in real fast.
Yeah, just or unless there's somebody else that's calling. If there is, I'll get off the line. I have no problem. I can ask you on Wednesday or whenever when in the class. So if there's somebody waiting, I certainly want to give them a chance.
Oh, it's okay, hon. I don't think we have enough time to take another caller, but go ahead.
Okay.
Let me know.
Okay, I won't keep you long. He's 12 and he's a Shih Tzu, and he's not eating very well, and he seems quite depressed. And I'm not quite able to pick up what's going on with him.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't feel he's ill.
Mm-hmm. I think that maybe he's just shifting. Yeah, it feels to me like he's just shifting into a new kind of lifestyle. It's like he's becoming elderly. It doesn't mean that he's ill, but he's just shifting to a new pace, and he's enjoying that, and that's okay. He isn't depressed, though. I don't feel that he's depressed. I feel that he's shifting into a new expression of energy.
That's all I needed to know. That's great. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, sweetie. And we can talk about it in more depth. I'll feel into it more profoundly some other time. But
sure, absolutely. You know what? Thank you so much for taking my call. You have a wonderful day and have a great time. That's on my bucket list to go to Sedona.
Oh, good. Thank you so much. All right.
Okay.
Laurie.
You have a great day. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Well, that is about it for our show today. I want to thank you guys so much. I hope there wasn't too much technical interruption. I can't tell on my end. I saw that there was one glitch. So thank you for sticking with me. And to the callers that I didn't get to today, thank you so much for calling in. Please do call again another time. And feel free to share this broadcast, whether you're watching it on the live stream, join my group, join the Lightworkers Lab. And, I have the YouTube channel where you can find the archives of these videos. It's, pretty easy to find them there. And that's youtube.com/Trisha Carr. And please do like, subscribe, and share. And there's also the audio version, a podcast. I'm actually on iHeartRadio now. Holla! I forgot to celebrate that. That's a big thing, actually. So if you are an iHeartRadio user, you can find this podcast on iHeartRadio. Just look for Charmed Life with Trisha Carr. And I'm also on iTunes and all of the other podcast outlets. So, all right. Well, I just have to say, I just have a little bit of time. So I just want to take this moment to express my deep gratitude. I want to just bless all of you. I'm sending you so much love and so much gratitude and thanking you so much for being here. And because even when we are just listening to someone else who is, teaching or connecting, that position is also very, is a high vibrational. It is a work in light. I mean, I'm just going to say, I listen to Abraham Hicks all the time. So when I'm listening to her on a YouTube, I'm actually being a light worker. So I just want to tell you, as you're listening, you're doing work in this world to elevate, to uplift, and to ascend. And you're joining in the conversation, even though you're sitting there. So thank you so much. And I could feel you, and I love you so very much. And so please do join me again next week at 11 a.m. Pacific. I'll be back in the studio, or just catch the next episode if you listen to the archives. And thank you so much for tuning in. I love you, whoever you are.